Shut up and sit down.
Greetings, fellow travelers. Oblyx here, coming at you today from Project Ozone Lite. How y'all doing today? That's still cool, I gotta say. So, last time, well, I don't even remember what the heck we did. We did something, I'm sure, no doubt. But this time, I want to take a look. We've been talking forever in a month of Sundays about what we were going to do here in the middle of this here base. And I hadn't done anything with it. Die, zombie scum. This bow is so weird that it shoots. You know, whether you shoot or not, it shoots. And I do like the falling out of the sky arrows. Be quiet, phone. Wouldn't be an Oblyx video without the phone going off. Whoa, you just like straight up despawned. Well, go on and get away then. Yo, chicken. So, we're gonna work on this little centerpiece today. You see, I've got it laid out, and we found out the exact center, and I did tear out all the garbage that was around here beforehand. Coming to me, the XP. So we know where our dead center is, right there. And we want to center around this. So, let's see here. Man, the controls feel weird to me. It's been a few days since I've been on the server. Y'all might have noticed a distinct lack of videos. I just, recharging the batteries. I was doing the everyday video thing for a while and just wanted a couple days off to not do videos. It was pretty nice, but I'm glad to be back at it. So we're going to keep going. We're going to get this middle knocked out today. We are obviously coming towards the end of this series. We're approaching it quickly. We've done most everything there is to do on Project Ozone Lite. We've completed almost all of our achievements except I think one. I believe we have one in generation. Yeah, this guy right here, which we'll get to. Watching those mobs fall out of there, that's just cool, I tell you. Just cool, I tell you. But we have been talking about this centerpiece, and we need to get something in there, so we're going to do that today. Now, as you remember, I built, if you've been watching since the beginning of the series, you remember we started with a little platform right here in the middle of the base. Where's my purple dome? Purple dome? Which dome has this stupid thing? Red dome. Red dome. There we go. Brain freeze. It has been a while. So we started with a platform, Zorp, much similar to these other guys. Where does it get in the middle of this thing? Wow. Well, that's straight up cold. You can't even get in the middle of that thing without the Zorp. Zorp? Hello? Zorp? 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 I can't remember how to Zerp. There's the Zerp. Wow, okay. So we started with an island that looked like this, except ours was blue, of course. All these little white bits up here were blue. And this was our starter home at the beginning of the world. And it has grown since then. And eventually we just tore down the whole dadgum thing and built our own little base. So if we zip back on home, we use the RF Tools Builder to build the torus, which is the big circle right here, big donut. And we started with that, and then we poked all the holes in it, plugged in all the orange, and then we ripped the top off and put in all this cyan glass, which looks pretty darn cool, I must say. Then we started adding the domes out here on the sides, which I love, in all their different colors. We got the purple one over there, which is all of our storage, and the blue one here, which is our automated gathering, and then we've got the red one here, which is all of our automation, and then the green one here, which is all of our Botania stuff, which isn't that much actually. There was something else I was going to do in there. I don't know that we're going to get to it in this series, but we may get to it in the next series. Then we built the towers. These 4 towers. There's 4 of them, one on each corner, and each one has a different purpose in life. This guy here is our reactor. This is our extreme reactor. This is the first significant power source we built. Right there, and he is still running to this day. He's just chugging right along doing his little thing. Been running since the day we built him. And then over here, this is our plant tower. So we've got a tree farm down there. We've got another plant farm down there, mystical agriculture. We got mystical agriculture growing up here as well. And this gets us a boatload of resources. Then we got this guy over here, which is our mechanism reactor, a different type of reactor, much bigger and much more powerful. You see all the little bits and pieces of it up there, and the actual reactor itself is down here a little ways, right there. That guy. And then we got this massive, just massive battery. So all that white in there, all those blocks is one big old honking battery. And we'll do a quick induction matrix check. That is the name of the battery, the official name. Because we've been on a quest to fill this sucker up. And we're not even there. We ain't even close. So we're sitting at 458 tera RF. So it does meter in, kilo, mega, giga, tera, peta, yoda. It measures in the metric system. It doesn't measure million, billion, trillion like we would think. So this is the equivalent of 458 trillion RF, but it's actually tera RF. So we're about halfway to a peta RF. And we still have quite a few rows left to go. So if we look there, that's where we stopped. So we still got more to go. We got, 6 more rows we can go, adding more of these ultimate induction cells, which is just going to make this thing hold more and more and more and more and more power. So he's a beast, straight up beast. I do want to try to see if we can get that filled up, if not with power, at least with induction cells before we end out the series. I'd love to have it full of power too, just to see how much it can hold, but I don't know if we're going to be able to do that without a little creative help. Because it's just, our mechanism reactors putting out 5 million RF a tick. Plus the extreme reactor over there, plus our ZPE farm in the mining dimension. Plus we have now chaotic solar panels on this thing. Chaotic tier solar panels. I forget how many, 4 something maybe, I don't remember. Let's go see. Maybe that's what we did last episode. Yeah, so this is the input from our ZPE farm here. So we've got an entire chunk full of ZPEs, which is basically just free power. And then this is the input from our extreme reactor on the other tower across the way over there. So all of its power is coming in here. Plus we have all of these chaotic solar chargers, which they really should be black. I don't know why they're not black, but they're producing 500,000 RF each. So we're making stupid power. You look at the input, we're inputting 8.57 million RF a tick. So 8.5 million RF a tick. About 5 million of it's coming from this guy. And then all the other ancillary things are putting out the rest. At 8 million RF a tick, this guy, you see how slow it's going up. And we can sit here and watch, and it's not going to tick up. The likelihood of it ticking up to 0.20 is slim and none. Even at ingesting 8 million RF a tick. Isn't that insane? Unbelievable. Yeah, I don't know that we can fill this guy up. We've been trying. The whole series, we've been trying. Alright, so today I want to get working on this. Now, I do get asked questions. The reason I kind of went through all these different domes and towers and whatnot was I get asked quite often, how did you build your base? So I kind of wanted to explain. We did use the RF Tools Builder to build all of this, every bit of it. You know, the Taurus was built by it. The towers were built by it. The dome at the top. There's a dome at the bottom was built by it. These domes were built by it. The bottoms of the domes were built by it. Even the randomization of the blocks that you see in this, like this dome here, or the glass randomization, all done by the builder. So I've got several episodes out on how I did this. I actually went through this with you guys on camera, and we did it together. Feel free to go check those out if you're still not sure how they work. But I will give you a brief overview as we work on the centerpiece, because we are again going to revert to our friends, the RF Tools builders. These guys, that guy and this guy. We're going to revert to those to get our centerpiece going. So I did set up a little mock-up over here. This may be old news for people that did watch the original and have seen it all before, so appreciate you stopping by. Feel free to drop off if that's going to bore you to tears. But for those that don't know and need a little extra help, because it is one of my more common questions, I figured it worth kind of walking through it again, just so folks know. So this is the RF Tools Builder right here, and this is how you want to set it up. You want to make sure it has power, and I'm getting it from this dimensional transceiver, which is just sucking power out of Oblyx mains, which is all of our different power sources combined into that big old induction matrix over somewhere, wherever it is. I don't know. Over there, I think. Maybe? No. Where is it? Right there. There. Right there. So that big old induction matrix, that big old monster battery that we were just looking at, that's almost at half a petabyte of power, is sending power to this box right here wirelessly. So just by the fact that it's touching this builder, the builder is getting power. We can tell that because this little red bar is filled up. Now I do encourage you, put a lever on the side of this thing. That tells it when to turn on and off. And you need some form of storage sitting on the top of it. Now I've currently got an RF Tools modular storage system, which has a Tier 1 storage module inside of it, which allows it to hold 100 stacks of items. So right now we've got 10 stacks of items inside of it, all wooden planks of various kinds. But you could use a chest out here for these guys. You see I'm using crystal chests, so we've got those sitting there. So basically anything that it has an inventory in it, it can draw from, and this is what it's going to draw to build things. Okay. Now you're also going to need to make one of these guys. It's called a shape card. And this is how you tell the builder what to build. What shape, what size, where you want it, all those things. So if we open this guy up, and this top left-hand box says what you can build. So we can build a bottom dome, or a sphere, or a cylinder, or capped cylinder, prisms, torus, cones, and you get a little shape representation over here that's based off of these numbers, which we'll talk about in a minute. You also need to decide if you want it solid or hollow. So that's the only two options there, solid or hollow. Now here it's going to tell you how many blocks you need to build this shape of this size. Okay, so that's an important thing to realize. Now, you have two lines of numbers. You got dim and offset. Now dim is short for dimension, which says how big do you want this thing to be. So how big do you want this hollow cone to be? Right now it's a 5 by 5 by 5. So if we come out here in the real world, it's going to be 5 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 5 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it'd be a 5 by 5 and then 5 tall. This is the offset. So it starts counting from the block that the builder is on. So that is 0, 0, 0. Now, if you go positive, it goes in the positive axis. If you go negative, it goes in the negative axis. And it does follow Minecraft rules there. So if I look up here, if I F3, hit my F3 and I look at my X, my Y, and my Z coordinates, and they're in the top left corner, kind of the second paragraph there, the first line says I'm standing at 2089 on the X, I'm standing at 99 on the Z, and 3989 on, I'm sorry, 99 on the Y, and 3989 on the Z. If I walk this way, I see that the X is increasing a lot, but the Y and the Z really aren't. So this tells me this way is positive X. If I go back, the X decreases and the others basically stay the same. The whole numbers stay the same. The decimal numbers might move a little bit because I'm kind of moving around on the block a little bit left and right, but I'm basically staying on the same block. So as I move backwards, the number for X is decreasing. That says I'm moving in the negative X. So this is positive, this is negative. Now, the left and right, if I go this way, we see the Z or Z is decreasing. If I go this way, it's increasing. So that's the positive Z, that's the negative Z. And it doesn't matter, even if I face this way, it's still the Z is the number that's going to change the most, right? So I'm still moving negative Z, and now I'm moving positive Z. I'm facing negative Z, but I'm moving positive Z. So the important thing to remember is this guy doesn't calculate based off where you are in the world. Like it's not going to start at 2086 by 3991. If I were to place it right here, it's going to start at 000, so that where it is, it considers 000. But you do want to take into account the positives and the negatives. So if we look at this space card, the offset, if I want to move whatever I'm going to build away from the builder this direction, then I need to go in the positive X. But let's put the card in even with the 555 on it as it stands. So the card has the dimensions of 555, right, with no offset. So that's basically going to build the item right around the builder. And if I click on this little lifesaver looking button right here, you see we get a shaped block right there. Now, what it's telling you is there's not enough room around this thing to build this block. But it did put this one here to kind of indicate that I could put a block here. And that's basically showing you how it would build whatever it's going to build. Now, if I kick this out that way some, it should come off a little bit better. It is a fairly small shape, though. So I want to take and this goes X, Y, Z, just like right here. See, we got X, Y, and Z. So this is X, Y, and Z as well. So if I want to go in the offset, and I want to go, let's say, 10 blocks forward in the positive X, and we're going to stay at the same height, and we're going to stay in the same left and right. And I'm going to put the card back in, tell it to do a preview again, and we see now it's building it over here. So it moved it 10 blocks this direction. Now these are breakable, by the way. They're not real blocks, but you can stand on them. To bring them back, just turn off the lifesaver and turn the lifesaver back on. And there they are again. See, I can't walk through them. They're real, or real enough anyway. But you can one-hit break them. So I wouldn't recommend trying to use them for a building. But let's change the shape a little bit so we get something more to see. Let's go with, let's make it a little bit bigger. Let's go with a 10 wide by 10 wide, and let's go with 20 tall, so that we get kind of a layered cake look. If we pop that in and do our preview, we're still using the offset, and then there you go. So it is building some actually underneath, which is why you don't see the whole thing. See the rest down there? Because remember, it starts at the middle, but where this machine is. So it's counting out 0 this way. So if I wanted to move it up to get more of that base visible in this room, I would have to pull out the shape card and let's say move it up 10 blocks. So we'll set the y-axis positive 10. So positive 10 is up, negative would be down. So if we pop that in, hit that, now you see more of the base. So I don't know if we got the whole thing, but we definitely got more. Yeah, pretty close. And it's kissing the ceiling up here. But now we have a much bigger construct. And we got a nice little hollow inside here. Now I'm pushing against the wall and I'm not going through it, so that does show you it is solid. Now what will happen is if I flip this lever, it's actually going to build this thing using the blocks that are in here. So anywhere there is one of these shaped blocks, it will build. Now if you pop them out like this, it will still build where those blocks would have been. You can't like come in here and say, you know what, I want a window right here, boom. Don't, and then say go build. It's not going to leave this hollow. It is actually going to fill it in with the wood planks because that's where they should have been. So let's try some different things, like a different shape. Let's see, we'll do a sphere. I like spheres. Spheres in Minecraft. There you go. Because remember, we have a 10 by 10 by 20. It's going to be more of an oval or ovoid shape. Actually kind of cool looking. So you can adjust accordingly and you just play with it. And like say you wanted it, well, that's the shape I wanted, but I wanted it just a little bit closer. It was further out than I wanted it. Well, you just pull out the shape card, shift right click it, and say, okay, I want to bring it back towards me. Say five blocks. It was at 10. I want to set it at 5 now. And oh wait, I did the dimensions, not the location. What am I thinking? See, it is easy to make a mistake. So that's our offset. So we were at 10. We want to now be at 5. That's going to bring it 5 blocks closer to the machine. So you see, there you go. And with this preview, it's really nice because you can kind of tweak it to get it exactly like you want it. Okay, you know, I really like that, but I want it a little further down, maybe only 8 blocks off the machine there. Okay, yeah, that's much better. I want a door. I'll let it build it, but then I'm gonna knock out a door here, and here's my new structure. Okay, you know, then you can, once you get it the way you want it, you hit build, and let's build a little bit smaller one so I don't have as much to tear down. We'll go, let's say 5 by 10 by 5. Pop that in, do our preview, and there we go. Nice little structure. Now, because I have different blocks in here, it's going to draw a little bit from each one of these stacks. So it is going to randomize the blocks for us. If all you want is spruce, that better be all that's in that chest. Because anything in that chest, it's going to randomize with it. And you see it builds, as long as it has power, it builds pretty darn quick. But you get this nice random pattern of all the different woods that were in here. And we see that it did, in fact, draw from every single stack. And you do, in fact, get a nice hollow structure, which is what we asked for. How about that? Easy peasy. It's very easy to build a cool base with one of these guys and not have to worry about it. Now, because I randomized this, it's going to take me forever to tear the sucker down. And I thought about it, but I was like, I should probably just do it in one, but I really kind of want to show the fact that it can be randomized, so maybe I'd been smarter to only use 2 woods. I don't know. What I do for you guys, I tell you. So we just pop these back in here, and you see it used a pretty accurate, pretty even amount of wood across all the different types. But that's the builder, and that's what we use to build these crazy constructs that is my base. So, for example, that's a hollow cylinder. That's a top dome. This down here, let's just fall. This is a bottom dome right there. That's a bottom dome right there. And as we fly up, little lighting glitch there. This is a top dome, this purple, of course randomized. So, and to make, all these holes where all the glass is, I had it build the entire torus with this block right here. I should turn off the F3 screen, sorry about that. With this living rock, I had it build the entire thing, and then I went through with my pickaxe and I poked holes wherever I wanted there to be glass, all the way through. Then I loaded up my builder with the glass that I wanted, and the same exact shape card that I used to have it build the living rock. I took the living rock away from the builder, put in the orange glass, and let it build again. And it filled in all those holes with glass. Then I took the orange glass away, put cyan glass in, or light blue stained glass, I guess that is, and ripped the entire top off the torus, and then had it build again. And then we got the nice blue tops. With these cylinders, I had it build the entire cylinder out of these bricks. Then I came through with my pickaxe and busted out this entire line of glass, and then counted up and busted out this entire line of glass, or not glass at the time, it was living rock at the time, living brick. And then did this one and this one and this one and this one, and counted all the way up. And then I went down and did the same thing, put cyan glass in the builder and built again, and then it filled in all the gaps with that nice cyan glass. And of course these top domes and the bottom domes underneath, I did exactly like I did these domes. So you can build a pretty darn cool looking base with the RF Tools builder and do some pretty complex things, some nice randomizations, some nice double, triple patterns if you want. You don't have to just use the one block. Some nice randomizations for our floor here. It came out really good. I love these floors. Obviously the stuff inside I built by hand, but the stuff, all of this stuff, even this floor was built with the builder. I built it all as dirt. It's just regular old dirt, and boy, it became a mob party in here when I did that. Be quiet, phone. Then I put down the vivid grass from Botania, made that and planted it all over the entire thing, and that's what got us this, this cool floor here. It is actually hollow underneath. It's 2 layers thick. There's a layer of grass and then a layer of the brick. Somewhere I have a hole into the depths. There it is. Zorp. And you can see that's where I run my piping for energy. So these are my power lines running through there. And this goes into one of the domes, whatever dome's over here. I don't remember which one. But yeah, that's how I did it all. So you can absolutely use these wonderful builders to do some amazing things. So we're going to use them again to build our center structure. And we're going to be using these materials here. So this is all glass. So I've got black, gray, light gray, white, and this enlightened clear glass. So this actually emits light. So this structure, unlike all the others, is actually going to light up, but it's going to be black. So I haven't seen what this is going to look like. I'm hoping in my head it looks cool. We'll see what it looks like. So I've got another one here with some different, same glass, slightly different shape. I love these crystal chests that you can see the items rotating around in there. But let me show you now what the shape's going to look like. I've already pre-built the shape card in both machines. I've got a shape card in both machines. I've already laid out, that's why I laid all the dirt down to get the appropriate diameters. And it's going to be this big if you hadn't figured that out, why those cuts are there. That's why they're there. So it's going to be that big at the end of the day. So let's do our preview. Bam! There we go. I'm hoping it kind of looks like a crystal at the end of the day, like this huge superstructure that's floating in the sky was kind of built around this crystal. At least that's what I'm hoping for. We're going to see what it looks like at the end of the day. You can see it, elongated at the top and the bottom. An interesting crystalline shape. Why is it bigger than I remember it being on that side right there? I thought I had lined these up perfectly, but apparently I did not. So apparently it is one bigger on this side than it will. Oh goodness. So we refresh that. Now it should be perfect. There we go. Okay. My goodness. All right. So now you ask, Oblyx, what do you got going on with the other machine? Why are there two? Well, because there's another shape. Bam. Oh yeah. I doubled it up. So if we look in here, and I have not built this before. I don't know what this is going to look like at the end of the day. We're going to find out. You see, so here's the first one that I showed you. Then there's a 2-block gap, and then there's the other one. And they're the exact same shape. It's just the inside one is slightly smaller than the outside one. Small enough that you can actually walk through all of this. And that was important to me. I wanted it to be, a big enough gap that I could walk the entire thing if I wanted to. And I have no plans to be walking down here. I do have plans for what's going to happen in here. And again, never done it before, so I don't know what it's going to look like, but that is a thing. So I do need to pop these out. So that when we hit build, it actually places a block there. And hopefully I did not bother counting. That gives us a nice big hollow space in here to work with too, to do some stuff. But hopefully, I said I didn't count it out. Hopefully there's enough glass in here to build these. If not, I'm going to go trying to scrounge up some more glass. But hey, we've got transmutations and all kinds of things. Glass is not hard to get for us anymore. So pretty much nothing in the game is hard for us to get anymore. We're pretty much baller. So let's turn off these previews because it does lag out the system a little bit if you leave the previews on while you're building. So we'll turn those off. And let's start with the inner one. What do you say? So both these builders have power. I was going to show you the shape cards, right? All right, so here's the smaller one. So we're building a torus yet again. If you remember, this is a torus, this ring. So this is also a torus. It's just scrunched up. It is hollow, and then here's our dimensions. So 25 wide by 115 tall. That gives us those nice pinched points at the top. You can't set this side because torus is circular, so there's only one radial dimension. So the other one has to be the same. It's not like a square or rectangle, rectangular shape where it can be. If you were to switch this to box or something, you would be able to adjust this side as well. And then the offset, we're doing 61 blocks. So remember, we count from the machine, so it's 61 blocks to the center out there. We're 1 block down because I want it to be off of the floor here. I want the center to be on the floor, not where the machine is. So that gives us our 1 block down, and then we're 2 blocks over because the machine is 2 blocks off of center. So we go in 1, 2 blocks off center. Now, something to pay attention to. You notice these dimensions right here are both odd numbers. Be careful. You know how in Minecraft we love to build in odd numbers. This is a 3-block gap, not a 2-block gap. It makes our lives easier for using things like doors. So we always try to build on odd numbers. If you built an even number out there in the center, but this, our main superstructure here is all built on odds. If I built an even structure out here, I could not dead center it. The only way to dead center it is everything has to be built on evens or everything has to be built on odds. If it's built on odds, then the center structure has to be odd. So because our main base structure is odds, the crystal needs to be odds as well. And you see this one's a little bit bigger, 321 and 300. Good grief, words, Oblyx. 31 and 121. And basically the same setup here. We're 61 blocks out, which is the same. We're 1 block down, which is the same. But this time we're -2 instead of +2. So we need to back off 2 this way instead of 2 this way. So that is pretty much it. Let's fire one of these bad boys up and watch it create. Nice. That is very cool. I hope I have enough glass. I think this one will be okay. I don't know about this one. This one might be a little shallow on the glass. Super cool. Nice, nice, nice. I think it's a little wider than I want it to be. I think I would like it to be a little bit darker for what I have planned on the inside. But I don't want to knock it just yet. I want to see what the other side's going to do. So we're going to turn this guy off. Ooh. Yeah, we might have enough to do it. Let's see. Ready? Go. Oh, love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. And we just watch it laying glass down the side. We still get our gap, which is fantastic. Should be over here now. Yep, it is. Oh, that just sounds weird. Oh, super cool looking. Yeah, I don't know if I like the colors of the crystal. I was trying to do colors I haven't used anywhere else. The problem is I used all the colors. So I think the only colors I haven't used are magenta and brown, if I remember right. Besides black. So I figured, we'll go with black. Not bad. That's actually not bad. I'm kind of digging it. I'm kind of digging it. So at the end of the day, we want to have... Of course, I'm not using Silk Touch, so we're not getting all this back. We're going to have paths that go out to the base and all the different domes. Nice. And of course, we're not going to have dirt. We'll take care of that. Oh, that looks cool. Yeah. Liking it, liking it, liking it. And we're going to do something else in here to spruce this up a bit. Let's turn that off. I did build a bit of a mob farm out here. We are definitely going to get some mob spawnage. Very cool, though. Yeah. And of course, this is spawn proof because it's glass. You know, no baddies are going to spawn on top of it. Yeah, you know, I do kind of like it, I gotta tell you. I wasn't real sure when it was building. I was like, did I make a mistake? I'm gonna have to spend a long time cleaning up. And I was thinking, do I have a Silk Touch pick? You know? But yeah, the more I look at it, the more I do kind of like it. And I love the fact that it's lighting up. None of the other glass in the base lights up. The reason the torus looks lit up is because there's so much light inside the torus. But this glass actually lights up because of these blocks right there. They emit light. So the crystal is brighter than all the other base components. You know, even when you move away, it still stays lit up, which I do like a lot. And we're going to do something else to it to possibly add to that. Yes. Alright guys, that is going to do it for today. All the time I have, unfortunately. We got our crystal built. That's great. Got some more plans for this we'll probably work on in the next episode. But until next time, you guys get out there and make some noise. See ya.